Wonderful to be with you, Bernice.
Thanks.
Yes, it's so nice to be with the whole format team here in Chicago. I just want to talk about in format we have the learning styles, but I think the process is the most important thing. In the beginning, first when I met format, I think, okay, we are learning different ways, and that was very important for me. But now I can see your brilliant work with format, that it is the process, how we design training, and how we design how we share knowledge. That is the most important thing.
But I went through the same thing. When I first started, I was just looking at these differences in kids.
Yes.
Kids, remember, my focus was kids. And that was where I lived at Northwestern for that doctorate. It was only afterwards when I began working with those wonderful people that I met there. They talked to me about Jung and the cycle and the rest of it, Myers-Briggs, and it was then that I began thinking, good grief, the style isn't the independent variable. The styles are the dependent variables. The independent variable, the reason, is the cycle itself.
Yes.
So I didn't know that at first. So you went through exactly what I went through. I went through the same thing.
Yes.
It came to me that the cycle was far more important when I realized the teacher, in order to write, or a trainer to do a format design,
Yes.
had to go through the process. Remember,
Yes.
Marshall McLuhan said, the medium is the message. You cannot create a format design without asking yourself, what exactly is what I'm teaching at the conceptual core level? Why do they need to know it? How will I make sure everyone in my class gets it?
Yeah.
See, so that's where differentiation comes in and mastery. And then, how changed will they be, and will I be?
Yes.
At the end of this? What will I have learned? What will they have learned? And so what will have been transformed? Because that's when I knew, when I hit transformation, that it was really the cycle that was everything.
Yes.
So I went through the same thing you went through.
Wonderful. And I think one thing more, which I have learned from you, coming from the emotional part, having an emotional experience, going through some reflection, thinking, experimenting, and the whole travel around the circle. You learned me something very nice about this walking from feeling to thinking.
Yes.
And you also mentioned Damasio.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah, Damasio is the brain. First there's Keegan, who talked about how high a level of cognition it is to have something happen to you and then step back and figure out what just happened. But then Damasio came along and talked about the different levels of emotional intelligence, where you're barely aware of what just happened. Then you start thinking about it and pondering it. Then you step back and say, whoa, why am I feeling this way?
Yes.
What tapes are going in my head? And then you step back and learn from what happened. So in the brain side of it, he had the same transformation that Piaget has and Keegan has when you move from feeling to thinking. So that makes the core of format this movement around the cycle, which Piaget called ordering, and then from here back up again, constructing. So it just became an overlay of these great minds, none of which I dreamt up myself. I just put them together.
Yeah.
They just made sense.
But you made this wonderful recipe, so that we all
a
can.
recipe.
Yes,
Right.
it is a recipe.
Right. It is.
So that we all can design training.
Exactly.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Yes. And we're delighted to have Europe involved with us.
Thank you so much.